Hey, it's Spencer. I'm out here today. I'm going to show you what we're working on. Today we're going to be working on cutting this monkey pod up above me. So we're going to be trimming this bigger tree right here, and then we're going to be managing all this lower stuff here. So I want to talk a little bit. I had a viewer ask about the tools that we're working on. They said the time lapses are a little bit too quick and they can't really see what we're actually doing. So I wanted to show some of the tools. So let's check them out. So this is my normal tool belt. I've had this tool belt about 6 years, maybe a little bit longer. So these are the main things I use. I don't always have my machete on my tool belt, and I don't always have this large saw on my tool belt, so it's pretty much always just this. And then I do have a sickle that I normally have, that I use a lot. Today we're probably not going to be needing much sickle, but here's what we got. I've got my Felco pruners, hand pruners. I've had these over 10 years. They are a great tool. And then I've got my Silky handsaw. This one's a Pocket Boy 130. At this point, it's a little short. I wish that I had the longer one, the 170. This has been great for a few years when the system's small. Super good for cutting sunflower and small stuff, you know, like this, you know, it's wonderful. But as you start leveling up and start cutting bigger trees, you're gonna want a bigger saw. So I use my saw a lot. I'm actually thinking about getting a non-folding saw next. Sometimes it does kind of move around while you're working with it, or like I'll hit this on accident and it'll fold. So not super great. And these Silky saws, they are pull stroke only. They don't cut on push. So they're Japanese, super great tools. This one's also a Silky. Let me pull that out. This one is the Sugoi. I believe it is the 360. We got this one for cutting bananas, for banana trunks, harvesting bananas also, and then mostly for climbing in the tree. It's a big saw. Super awesome, cuts really good. Having this little hook on here is super nice. They do have one that's a little bit larger. My friend suggested that, but I was putting it on my leg at first, and my leg's only so long, so it kind of hits my ankle, so I didn't want the bigger saw. But bigger saw, you know, basically with this you're doing like, you know, you do one long stroke with the whole blade, and it you know, the longer it is, the bigger the cut, basically. And then over here I've got my machete. This is a Brazilian machete corneta. I've had this about 6 years as well. Super great. Got it from a friend, from my mentor. I really wish that I had more of them. It's an awesome tool. Super light, pretty bendy, pretty flexible. Really good for cutting, you know, just whatever. Right, just super easy. Yeah, so those are the main tools. So Julie's going to be climbing the monkey pod today. So she's going to be wearing this on her. We were going to be using our big tripod ladder as well. And then I'm going to be on the ground as she cuts things. I'm going to be catching them, either catching them or preventing them from damaging other plants here. We'll walk around in a second and show you those plants. But so basically I'll be spotting, watching as she's cutting things, catching them, getting them down to the ground. And then mostly I'll be using the machete to just bucket apart. And maybe maybe I will do a tutorial during the video of how to use the machete. So yeah, those are the main tools. Super straightforward. And then you know, the tool belt just fits around my waist. And then I've got my carabiner here to hook on my machete, and I've got this little clip here to clip on the big saw. So super awesome. This is a Felco 911, the holster. So yeah, it's super convenient to have your tools on you. I wish I had a sickle holster, but don't really know. Haven't figured that one out. Kind of asked a friend to maybe ponder one, making a 3D print or something. We'll see how that goes. So yeah, those will be the tools, and then let's just show you around the zone. So first we've got some ingas here. So we're going to need to be trimming these ingas back, and then above that is the monkey pod. Down in here we just got a couple of little random natives. Let's walk around here, kind of see the monkey pod a little bit better. So yeah, it's pretty large. And then we've got this vine here, this chayote. This guy here is actually starting to climb from this tree onto the monkey pod over there. So we need to prevent that from happening too much. We don't really like vines getting everywhere, but there's a nice harvest up in there. Been getting a ton of fruit from that one. But anyway, we're going to be managing this bed here. So there's not too many things in here, just some ornamentals. We got some costus, we got some anthuriums, got a little coconut. And then we've got these Mamia Americanas, super delicious fruits. This one's a graft. This one here is also a graft. It's kind of like a crunchy apricot type of thing, super good. These are two different genetics, so that'll be interesting. And then we've just got some costus in here. So yeah, not a ton of stuff in here. We've got, you know, just a nice gardenia in there, a couple random things. Oh, and let's check out how kind of bare the ground is right now. The chicken's been coming over here and hanging out and kicking stuff around. So yeah, that's kind of the main stuff over there. And then I think we're gonna get around to this banana as well. So probably just kind of, you know, some more costus there. So kind of just this zone here is what we're gonna be working. Yeah, I'll just kind of show how to use the machete a little bit, and then we'll show the time lapse. We'll get to it. I'm going to show a quick little tutorial on sharpening. We want to keep our tools sharp at all times, so I've got this little sharpener here, super convenient, and then we've got our blade here. So I like to wear gloves because if you slip, you know, you might cut yourself. And then just go. Typically I'll do it, you know, kind of on a zone where I have space to work rather than doing it like into the table. So we're going against the blade and just go around it like this. All right, so I'm going to show you a little bit of a machete tutorial. Julie's going to climb up and she's going to cut these ingas here. We're actually cutting these ingas first. This is not our normal protocol. Normally we would just start with our bigger tree, but because of the video and because of the sunlight and the angles and everything, we need to cut these ingas so that we can actually just see the tree work for the larger tree. But she's going to cut that, and then I'll show you how I'll use the machete, and then we'll get into the work. So yeah, she's up there cutting the thing. If it's a bigger thing, I'd be over there catching it. You know, it's a small thing, not a big deal. It's also got a vine on it, so that makes it a little bit more annoying. So I'll take things from her as she's working up there, and then I'll come in another zone where I'm not going to get stuff dropped on me. I'll make sure the ground is cleaned up, so there's somewhere to put the material. Make sure the ground's weeded well enough. So while she's climbing, I can be coming through and weeding first before she's ready to drop material. And then when I've got my material, I'll use my machete. I can grab them. Alright, so when you got a piece that's a little too big to handle like that, I'll come through and cut it up a little bit. So with the machete, it's easiest to work down the plant. So right, this is the base of the plant. This is the top of the plant. So working downward, you're able to just hit the leaves off, hit the branches off. Pretty straightforward. You know, we're just going downward motions. If you want to just hit all the leaves off, you know, there's vines on there, a little bit annoying, no big deal. And then I'll come through and just cut up the whole rest of the branch into, I don't know, 30 centimeter, foot-sized pieces or so. And if it doesn't cut the first time going that direction, I'll twist the whole thing and hit it again in the same spot, and you can create kind of a double cut, and then it'll come off. So you really want to hold it strong with this hand. You know, you don't want to let it slip when you're working with it, and you want to have solid, you know, motions against your wood. Every tree is different to work with, the density of the wood, the way it cuts, but you can use the same techniques for all of them. So look at that, we got a nice little easy mulch pile right there. I can just come through, pull the branch off, strip it down, and mulch it. And something that's a little bit bigger like this, you know, if it's not going to cut so easy, you know, I'll just twist it, come around, hit it again, and just keep on twisting around it until it breaks off. Alrighty, so we just finished working out here, and I'll just show you around and show you what we were working on. So we got a nice mulch on the ground here, and then we came and we cut back these ingas. We came and we we tipped the kwai muck here, just kind of every branch. The monkey pods got cut back pretty hard, or the monkey pod. The rest of these are ingas, they all got cut back as well. And then we topped this Mamia Americana right in here. We're also trying to get it to branch, so I pulled off all these leaves that were down here. Hopefully we'll get some good sunlight on here, and hopefully it'll want to send some shoots out of here rather than just continuing to go up, because it's getting kind of tall, and we kind of really want to keep it down low. This one down here is looking nice though. What else we got? We got the costus, got this other costus, we got that costus in there. That one's really cool. Let's check that one out. Super trippy. That one just keeps on growing up and up. Look at that one. This one's a pretty weird one. Yeah, not too much else in here. Yeah, let's just check out the mulch. Nice and thick. So I forgot to mention that we also harvested a soursop off of this tree here. Similar to that, a little bit bigger. I'll put in the footage of that. So that was just, you know, as we were dropping the tree, we noticed that fruit was ripe, so we decided to take it off before we, you know, smashed the tree. And then also we did have the chayote come down, and now it's nice and, you know, accessible. So, nice big one. We like chayote a lot. It's a really good food source. It produces a ton of food. Nice big food. Big fruits. Got plenty in the air over here. And so yeah, that was a pretty straightforward one, pretty quick one. The tree actually wasn't that big, so it was pretty straightforward to just piece it apart. And then, you know, one thing I guess I can mention is when she was cutting these branches, you know, she kind of determined where she wanted to leave them. You know, like those where her final cuts were supposed to be or wanting to be. So what she actually did was cut, you know, further out here to take the weight off of the branch that was going out. And then that way, you know, you can, if you strip some bark on accident, then you can just cut it and fix it to where you want it. So you never make your cut where you want your final cut to be. You always cut it out further, and then you can work your way back to where you want your final cut to be. So she just left this framework to it, and then that'll resprout. And it's got that other one over there. And the coconut, you know, just kind of bringing things back into to a harmony with itself. And yeah, we got the costus, and then yeah, we're gonna work this zone here tomorrow. So thanks for watching. Subscribe if you want to see the update on the next push over there. That should just be a few days later that we'll be uploading that. And yeah, thanks for watching. We'll see you around.